Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Have you ever been playing a game and thought, this game needs more cats? Well, I have a game for you. Cat Quest is an action RPG game that takes inspiration from the likes of Zelda, Final Fantasy, and even Skyrim. But I'm kidding ahead of myself. Let's actually start up the game and see what it has to offer. We start the game and immediately our boat gets destroyed, we get knocked out, our sister gets kidnapped, and it's our job to save her. When we wake up, we're greeted by a cat sprite named Spirey, who delivers most of the dialogue as our main character is silent. We're told that we're the Dragon Blood, and with that comes the power to fell dragons and use magic. After exploring a bit, we find Drakoth, the cat who took our sister, who tells us that we need to defeat 3 dragons to save her, and then we truly begin our tale. To deal with those dragons, we need a method to fight them though. So let's cover the battle system. Before I touch on combat itself, I need to mention the horrible way they handle equipment. All of your equipment has a level, and every time you get another version of the same piece of equipment, it levels up. This concept is fine, but it just makes it to where you use the same weapons and armor the entire game, until you get into post-game, and generally that makes progression feel slow. Also, if you want to go a specific build, like let's say you want to focus on magic, most equipment is random based on my experience, so you may get almost no magic items and be forced into focusing in physical attack. The battle system is very simple, but very satisfying. You do a simple attack and you can dodge roll out of the way of attacks. You can also use spells like Fireball, Ice, Thunder, and Heal, which definitely spices up combat. With that being said, its simplicity can hurt the game later on. Sure, it's really satisfying to kill enemies and certain fights are definitely difficult, but after a while it can start to feel really samey. Luckily it holds up for quite a while and really only starts feeling repetitive at the end of the game. Nothing too bad unless you decide to do post-game content, which there is a lot of by the look of it. The main thing this game does well isn't the combat though, it's the perfect humor. Remember Spirey? Well, they love puns and almost every other line of dialogue is a cat pun. And it doesn't stop at Spirey either, the entire world is full of cat puns, like finding the Necropodicon in Forbidden Fields. The entire game is full of this humor and I absolutely adore it. The art for the game is okay. It never really struck me as breathtaking or anything, but it never bothered me. Though most of the dungeons look almost identical, so I wish there was more variation there. The music is also really good, but not in a I'm going to listen to this in my free time way. They use the same songs the entire game, but it doesn't get annoying. Well, as I said, the songs aren't masterpieces, but to be able to listen to them for that long without them getting annoying is pretty admirable. With this cute and punny tone to the game, along with it being called Cat Quest, you wouldn't imagine the plot would be too great or deep, but surprisingly it's not too bad. If you want to go in completely spoiler free, then go to this time on screen. While these aren't game ruining, you'll enjoy the experience better going in without spoilers. Continuing from where we left off, we go kill the 3 dragons, with a rematch against all 3 at once at the end. Along the way we also gain the power to walk on water and fly. And a side note, the flying animation is absolutely adorable. Anyway, we learned that some people made the dragon blood as a means of killing the dragons. Then when we reach Drakoth, it's revealed that our sister was a fake. Drakoth does this so we can gain more power. He wants us to gain more power so we can free his owner. So this entire time was just because a cat was sad over losing its owner. Which is sad and all, but to be honest, I have no idea why we need to become more powerful to free him. But the main story isn't really too interesting. The actual interesting stories come from the side quests and exploration. The side quests have surprising amount of depth to them. For instance, I found 2 identical towns that mirrored each other's quests. Always something to do with this guy's sister, all while a wizard was telling me to leave. After a bit of experimenting with the towns, we find out the quests are actually just memories being replayed, and the guy's sister is already dead. He tried to use dark magic to save her, but ended up duplicating the town, and it's revealed that the wizard following us was the same guy. Or another time, I was exploring and found out where this pirate left his treasure, and instead I found this weird cave that seemed almost alive, and it seemed to want me to leave. It's moments like this that can make Cat Quest an unforgettable experience. So that's Cat Quest. While it isn't exactly a masterpiece, it definitely leaves a good impression with its strong feeling of adventure. But with that being said, its poor equipment system and oversimplified combat really holds it back. This game isn't for everyone, but if it sounds or looks interesting to you, then it's definitely a game worth checking out. Okay, so I went to this game to be less stressed, but this game is surprisingly stressful. So clearly that didn't work. So what now? How about pinball? Yeah, pinball's pretty relaxing. I know the perfect game for it. Next time we'll check out Yoku's Island Express, a pinball Metroidvania game. See you guys then.